Hello everyone and welcome to a Chaos Rift special. Today I'm going to show how I made the island in the basically the island that it will be featured in Immortal Realm. First you start out with basically, blank window. Go to Window, Gaia, show Gaia Manager. This is all the standard typical stuff. Controller, doesn't matter, desktop. That's basically what the settings I'm using. Render built-in renderer. We can do all that stuff. And here's the important stuff. So we got terrain, all my settings here. So I got the Gaia settings, my standard stuff. Terrain size is only 1 square kilometer, which is actually pretty damn big. And for basically my first island, it's probably a little too big, but we'll see if I can fill it up. Terrain height 600 meters. I only really go up to 250 meters on my terrain. Resolution just makes basically better terrain stuff. So texture settings. Here's where the magic happens. So what I did is I went in. So let's just go. Created a folder called Used Ground Textures, and I threw all the textures in the order that I wanted them generated. So that's why I put a number there: 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. The rest of them are detailed textures that I actually put in myself. That's so I can paint the terrain with extra textures. The 1 through 10 are also used for the vegetation system to know where to spawn certain things. We'll get into that a little later. So right now, basically, let's go in here. So I created all my textures, sand, blah, blah, blah. That's the primary texture. Desert, sand, duneless. That's just another kind of beachy texture, a little bit of rocky. Dirt patch, let's just show you off this. So basically, that's kind of like a rocky dirt that almost has a wet look to it. That's just kind of like the secondary or tertiary kind of texture, blah, blah, blah. Then we have 3 different grass textures. Grass, grass with a little bit of litter on it. It's a little bit darker. There's a little less, it's more patchy, so it's kind of like a little higher elevation kind of grass. And of course, you need some snow. That's just basically a white thing. The normal map actually is where the pattern comes in to play. Alrighty, so there we go. So basically, step 1, pretty simple. Create the terrain. Oops. Then I go into my session manager. Close that off. Session manager. This is where I add my sessions. Right now, I created a session specially for this tutorial. Or actually, I didn't really create it. I copied it from my thing and renamed it. That way, if I ever screw up bad enough, I can kind of generate my texture again. Basically, so let's go into the session manager. I did random terrain generator. I set a bunch of these variables. These are not set right now, but I wanted a little bit of waterfalls, village, chance, blah, blah, blah. I did all this. I'm just doing this randomly, but I did do a lot of tweaking on this. I wanted plains, rivers, so that was high up. Villages, that kind of got high up. Blah, 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 blah. Create oh, well, where'd it go? Oh, add stamps. Add stamps. Okay. Sorry, it's been a long freaking week, right? So add stamps. And then play session. It'll say blah, blah, blah. You say yes. And this is where it starts stamping away. I hope. So we got the volcanoes coming in right now. Alrighty, and now we're done. All right, so I forgot to say this is in no way a tutorial of like I am not an expert. But anyways, so this is where this is my first view of my terrain, right? And I was like, wow, all right, this is where I want to build my island. The center volcano, as you see, is a little short. Here's the original plateau where the village is. Down here, I was like, you know what? Let's put our docks right here where they're in line. Look, and there's a nice little path up there to the village. So basically, that was where I started. Like for the mesa, I would just do like a 134, just shift click, and I'm just gonna have to work around that. And I just kind of started going like this, right? So I flatten it out. I know, I destroyed a really perfectly good mesa. But actually, let me get some shape in here. So grab like that, so we can get some like mountain crags and everything. Make the edges of the mesa kind of mesa-y. Yeah, that was a bad pun. So just basically around here, right? So do. Let's get the opacity up. Oops, higher, like 94. Whoops, Yeah, that's what happens when you click quickly, right? All right, I'm not doing this. I'm not recreating my fucking village. So then basically I'd do that. I'd go to my scene, housing, boom, grab the village, prefab, wait until it loads. Oops. So click on the, there we go. So click on the village prefab, wait until it loads, move it in place. Yeah, it's killing my machine right now because of something's going on. Like, oh, that would be why. Damn it, Unity. Lighting, settings. I keep forgetting about that. Alright, so now that I turned off baked lighting, should be, well, once it gets done doing its thing. Unity can be a real pain in the ass to work with at times. So basically, I mean, that's what I did. And so I got my village here. The mesa was way too small for my village design. So you get the gist of that. So I did that. Sends window, let's see. So Gaia Manager. I had to create my spawners. Let's just get the texture spawners going. And then water. So what I did for water is I went in here, Takuki Digital, Sumono, add Sumono water, and boom. Okay, now I have an ocean. I go to Tenkono. I can basically set the... Oh, I think I deleted that. Alright, so that's fine. CTS doesn't work either. So what I'll do is just go and add Enviro Sky instead. I don't care about the player. Let's set the time to noon. Oh, please add Enviro. Alright, so basically characters, player, player prefab. Let's just put them in the village. Here we go. Now let's see. Okay, there we go. Alright, so put the player in. It's been a while. I did so many steps, I kind of forgot what I did for half the stuff. And Vegetation Studio, so let's just add that in real quick. Automatic setup. Set up and import terrain trees. And done. Okay. So that's basically that in a nutshell. Let's go to village. Whoops, let's go to the player. Alright, the player is floating in the air. Where the heck did he go? Oh, he's like way down there. Alright, so here you are, player. Now remember, the village is being sloppily done, so we push play. Takes a little bit to load. I am underwater. Awesome. Alright, so I don't know why that's happening, but who cares? So where's my player? He's way above ocean level, right? Yeah, he's way up there. Alright, so my directional light is off. My player here, village. Suimono module. Main character. Water here, Enviro. Effects. That is layer default. I don't know. Whatever. Vegetation Studio, basically, go in here, start all vegetation systems, go into vegetation system, and just add stuff. I'm going to add a vegetable package, which is the one that I made for the game. Most of the textures are not going to spawn, though, so we go to vegetation, and let's just delete. Where is it? There's so many damn options here, right? Okay, here we go. Terrain texture rules. And let's just delete. Just boom. Okay, now trees can spawn everywhere. Alright, so basically that's just how that works there. I added in tree, basically rules that say where the trees can spawn. So if I turn that rule back on, the trees go away. And I go into the texture spawner. There we go. That one, delete that one. Go into here, click. I set up all my texture spawners. Basically, sand is standard. There is no noise mask. Let's just go quickly through this. Desert sand duneless. There is also no noise mask. Rocky patch. Now I added Perlin to this, which makes it a little different. My cliff, there is basically standard stuff. My rocky side is also no noise mask. I thought I put a noise mask on that. In fact, I do want a Perlin noise. So we'll do that. I'm just kind of surprised that I didn't pick a random seed, because if everything's 0, it's all going to look the same, right? Mud rock, yes, I do want Perlin. I don't know why it's not on. And grass 1 is the main grass, so there's no noise mask. Grass 2, there should have been a noise mask because that's a secondary grass. So we'll just turn that back on. We'll set a random number. Litter grass, there should also be a Perlin noise on that. And that would be it. There is no there is no noise mask on this because that. And spawn. Now the vegetation system is on, so as the textures spawn, it should start creating trees if it ever spawns. Alright, and there we are with our basic texturing. Let's see, it doesn't look like it actually did anything. Here we go. I mean, we got some different variations in the grasses, the beaches, and everything. Okay, so it did do its job. Like, the beach comes up to that height and everything. I just don't have very many steep ridges right now. Here we go. A nice steep ridge over here, where that's just like a little rocky face. Over here, we have other stuff, like our ridge. Oops. The rocky face here. So it did everything as it should. Let's just make sure everything's turned on. Is active. Yeah, everything's active. Just go into the window Gaia Manager. Just want to make sure that my textures, I mean, everything looks right. So here's the texture settings. So that's active. Yep. All right. So actually, everything worked fine. It just doesn't look like it from front, but then again, I've done extensive work on the train after it was done, so the texturing is just a little off right now. But that's fine. That's just kind of how things go. And then once we get the texturing in, then we go back to the Vegetation Studio. Let's just zoom in and click Start. And boom. All right, so now the trees only spawn on the grass where they're supposed to, or the foresty coverage. There's some grass right here too. If I zoom in, there's some grass and flowers. And that basically, in a nutshell, is how I started. So now let's say let's say, here we go. So right there is the other flowers. Now let's go back to the vegetation system and go to the terrain first. Go to here, and I want to add a texture. So I go into there, use ground textures, and here we go. So fresh tilled dirt, and we got that right there. All right, so go to the fresh tilled dirt and vegetation system, because I want to. So let's say I want this wheat right here to grow only on fresh tilled dirt. So right now it only grows on that terrain texture, which actually is not there. That's texture 13. So let's go add that in real quick. Add that texture. Not sure. All right, so I went back to my scene just because things actually work in my scene. It's the way I set up everything properly. So go to Vegetable System, Vegetation Studio, turn it on, start all vegetation systems, right? And then go into, there we go. Okay, so there's where the defaults are, right? So I go into this, let's say I want other textures to show up. I go into there, I'm going to set the brush really small, opacity 94, just so I can just go, whoops, am I painting even the right texture? Why is this not painting? All right, let's turn the vegetation system off. And that shouldn't do anything. There we go. All right, so that was a little too big now. Control Z, one more time. Control Z. Let's make it a 5. No, 15. That's a 5. And go zzz. All right, turn vegetation system back on. Now, granted, not every package is friendly to use. Vegetation Studio may be awesome, but it's a pain in the freaking ass to start, to get going. All right, see, there we go. All right, the tree is now gone because I drew in front of it where it was supposed to spawn. It looks like the vegetation system does kind of screw up my... let's just see if I can draw now. Okay, I can draw. All right, so I don't know what happened. Now I can draw my wheat field in between my flowers. And I can do that. So now that I have everything set up properly, which on the other scene I just didn't have the patience to reconfigure everything properly on camera. So yeah, basically it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, that's the texture, 15 for that texture, blah, blah, blah. If I want to draw some like different kind of grasses right here, some plants grow there, some don't. Let's just set the size to a little bigger, so 10. And we got some cool little flowers coming in, right? So if I want to get rid of stuff, I just go like this. Boom, nothing grows there. I get that trail. So that's how I get that really nice trail coming through. So now I can kind of go like this and be like, doo 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 doo. I'm walking through. And now I have a nice patchy trail that looks weird. But it goes through there and nothing grows on the trail. Now, if I really want to make it interesting, I set the opacity to like 3017 or even lower. And I just kind of go real quickly through here, right? So now I have some trail that looks like it's just kind of been overgrown. And there we go. So just like that, right? There we go. So now grass can still grow on the trail, and it has that nice little like patchy kind of look to it. So, and it's kind of like, you know, so you can have like an overgrown trail and not have to worry about it. So now you got like the little grass underneath it and everything. So that's basically my vegetation system. The RAM auto system, I didn't really have enough time to really go into, but let's just really quickly do this because I got a waterfall on this side that, whoops. Sometimes my frame rate goes to hell and then I get stuck in a mountain somewhere. My character keeps falling through the world today. I don't know why, so I can't do a playthrough. So go basically, here we go. So where is it? Windows? No. It's actually create 3D. I don't even remember where I create river spline. Here we are. So RAM auto. RAM, whatever. Click. Control click. Control click here. Oops, control click. Control click there. I'm just doing this real quickly. Control. I'm going to redo the river anyways because I just screwed up. All right, so anyways, my river is supposed to go over here and flow. Okay. So basically I get the control points, right? So then I hit W for basically move stuff around. And I can move the control points around a little bit so I can get that guy out of the water or away from the mountain cliff. Just a little bit out. There we go. It's actually better if I do it this way because now he's a little too high up and close to his buddy. There we go. So I'm going to pull that a little bit this way, a little bit that way. The angles when this spawns are just really wonky, right? So now this guy, actually I want to point further out, but I'm just doing this quick. And then I do R for resize and, oops, wrong way. So then I can make this kind of fill in the water zone. Now, of course, it's not going to look right because I'm just doing this really lazy. And then this is the end of my river. So I'm just going to go, oh, actually that point is way off. Whoops, W. It's actually supposed to be here. And that's done. So, I forgot how to make this an actual river. Oh, duh. Spline profile. So basically, I got to go in here and let's just make it a realistic river. Boom, done. All right. Now I got two different rivers. All right. And I can't really push play. Damn it. But there we go. Now it's coming down the mountain. It flows in. It turns into the lake here. I don't really like that profile at all. My favorite is actually this one right here, the Gamma. It just has a nicer look to it. See how my river comes down and folds up and everything. And that's basically it. So there's all the trickery and magic, black magic of my game making. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my semi tutorial and blundering around. Anyways, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.